welcome back, guys. Thank you for staying with us tonight. My name is Brad Nugent, and I'm with the Caribbean Food Network, and we're with our final segment for tonight. It's the wine segment. I would say it's one of my favorites because, you know, you get to enjoy a little bit of the great libations that we have to go with the wonderful food that we had tonight. I'm here to host this segment, but I gotta be honest with you, I'm usually the beer guy on the team. But tonight we're gonna try out some of the great wines that we have here, and we're gonna talk to some other friends that's in the audience to help facilitate the conversation of putting great wine and great food together. I wanna start out by letting you know that tonight we have, of course, two wines with us. We have a red and we have a white. The white is the Italian wine that we're gonna be having tonight and talking about. And our red is called Sienna. The one that I have is 2003. And from what I remember, I had a huge tax return, so 2013 was a great year. Anyway, I want to start off the segment by bringing someone back to further the conversation. As you know, we talked about in the top of the segment that we're having one of our biggest culinary experiences right here on St. Croix, Taste of St. Croix. But it's only one of a full week of great events. So what I want to do is to bring someone that we had on the top of the segment, Julie, to come back and talk a little bit more about the food and wine segment, her participation with it as well, and a little bit more about the wines that she represents. So let's welcome Julie back to the show. All right, Julie, thank you for coming back. We're really excited about the Taste of St. Croix, and as I was telling the audience, it is just one part of the entire culinary experience that we're having. So will you take some time and share with us what are some of the other things that we're going to be experiencing that week?
Yes.
Let me make sure that your microphone is on. Use mine.
Well, this would work better. Well, I really appreciate you having us on. We're from the St. Croix Foundation. We have the food and wine experience that we are going to be representing. We have the Sunset Barbecue that starts on the 7th of April. It's from 5:30 to 9:30, located on the Frederiksted Pier. We have extraordinary chefs, all-star lineup there, lots of food, finger looking good. We also have the wine in the warehouse. It's at the Bulky Hangar. And that is going to be really exciting this year, trying to do a fresh take on it. Wines from all over the world. The theme is night flights, and then we have the gourmet vintner dinner that's over at the Halfpenny Club over on Monday the 10th.
Okay. Well, there's one thing. Oh, my microphone seems to be a little bit better.
Okay.
There's one part that you mentioned that I've attended the food and wine experience in the past, and it has been amazing. And I want to emphasize the word experience.
Yes.
Because this is all part of the tourism experience. And what we've observed, we did a survey back in the day when I worked in tourism. We surveyed thousands and thousands of visitors. And we said, what is it that you want to do when you go on a vacation? And they were saying, you know, we can experience a pina colada, beach, and sand anywhere. But when we go on a vacation, we want to have a vacation experience. And I think what you guys are doing, the Taste of St. Croix, the food and wine experience, satisfies that for them. But there's one event in particular that I thought was just amazing and lots of fun, and it was a little bit different, and that was the wine in the warehouse. Now you're saying you're changing that up even more. And you shared with me a little bit about the changes. Now, in the past, we would go out literally to a warehouse, and we would have different stations of wine and other beverages, and we go from station to station, cutting in between stacks and stacks of wine.
Right.
So that was really, really cool. But you guys have bumped it up a notch. So it's not a warehouse.
A few notches.
I
think so.
So it's not in a warehouse. No. Can you tell us where is it going to be this time?
So it's literally going to be at the airport in the Bulky International Airways hangar.
It's in a hangar.
We have some really exciting things. I'm not going to tell you everything.
Okay.
But we have private planes for the photo booths, so you
Okay.
can do some really fun, like, you know, presidential waves and whatnot. We have some local chefs that are going to be joining us. We have Sam Choi, who is an award-winning James Beard chef, who is amazing.
But I want to know, when you go there, will you know that you're in a hangar?
Yes.
Okay. Okay.
Yes.
Don't tell us everything.
I'm not.
But can you give me an idea of what to expect? How do we know we're going to be in a hangar?
Details. We have details of the entire flight experience. Everything from, we're going to be greeted by flight attendants with luggage that will direct you throughout the entire event.
Okay.
And then we have wines from 8 different regions of the world. And we're going to showcase some stuff from wines from South Africa, New Zealand, Australia, Chile, Argentina, some places that, you wouldn't always get the opportunity to taste the grapes and the different flavors that encounters with all the different regions around the world. And then we have food that's going to complement it. So it's sure to be nothing you want to miss.
It's going to be a vacation experience.
It literally is the experience in a box. Everything all you want.
Guys, like you said before, I talked about it being a vacation experience. Before it was wine in the warehouse with stacks and stacks of bottles of wines. This time you're going to be greeted by stewardess or flight attendants.
Correct.
Flight attendants, and you're going to experience wine from all over the world. I think we have bumped it up a notch or two.
I think so.
Most definitely. Julie, thank you so much for joining us tonight. I appreciate it. And guys, remember to support the food and wine experience that you're going to be having, and also coming out to the Taste of St. Croix. I definitely believe that you're not going to be disappointed this year. Julie, thank you so much for joining us.
See you there.
I will. Thank you. Okay, guys, you know that part of the entire evening experience that we try to share with you here on the Caribbean Food Network is to pair great food with great wine. So I want to bring in another guest that you're familiar with. He hosted the earlier segment, but he's my good friend. I know him as Ricky Dean, and we talk and we hail up and do all those things, but I'm coming to appreciate the fact that he is Chef Ricky Dean. Okay, so I'm bringing back my good friend Chef Ricky Dean here to talk a little bit about the pairing of red and white wine with some of the food that we have. Can you talk about which one will work a little bit better?
Sure.
And I notice you have one in your hand already, so let's talk about wine pairing.
Okay. So it's kind of some, basic thing. The whites tend to, if you want to keep it very simple, right? If you think the color of a white wine, that goes more with a chicken or a fish. If you want to keep it very simple. If you want to go with a red wine, that kind of goes more with the red meat, red sauces. So if you never have a, decision, you're sitting there and you're looking at what wine to get, that's the easiest way that I try to explain to people on, what to
Red with meat.
Red meats, right? The whites kind of go with, the pork and the poultry and so forth. That's the easy way. Simple way. If you wanted to get it right every time, that's, kind of it's a very simple way to do it. Now, when you go with, certain reds, as you look at the grape as it's more mature, it has sometimes a very stronger taste. So that means once it's more mature, that goes good with a nice, like a steak. That's, kind of how you would pair it. Now, white wines, you can also incorporate that in your cooking if you're making a sauce. So they tend to have not a very strong flavor. So you can kind of do a nice reduction with that. You can do like some asparagus with some, nice grilled, a nice cheese and so forth.
So you're saying that you can have the wine on the front end in the food, and on the back end drinking it as well.
Exactly. So that's something that that you can do that's very nice. When I shop for wines, believe it or not, it's like ladies shop for shoes. Everyone's got their own way of doing it, right? So for me, I'm all about the label. I like like the cabs, I like a Shiraz, which is a nice blend. So you look at this one here, it says red wine, but it's got a nice label. So to me, they all come in bottles, right? They all come, some are screw off. We tend to think screw offs back in the day were not a quality wine, but now due to a shortage of cork, a lot of high-end wines are using screw offs now. So basically, I would look at this is a nice label, it's catchy. So if you're going to spend the time to bottle a nice wine and you spend time on a nice label, just looking at this, I would give it a shake right off the bat. I would say that hey, it's got a nice consistent label. It's pretty unique. It doesn't look like it's just something very simply made and cheaply made. It adds a lot to the to the taste. So I definitely would pick that as a viable candidate. This one here, it's it's a year. Okay. The year is 2015, so it's about 2 years old. It would be a very, very strong taste, but it would be a very clean taste. So that would be a good sample for pork. When you pick the wine and you look at the years of the grape, the older the grape is, or the older the wine matures, the more stronger the wine content will be, the more it will be, and so forth, and the sugar content will be higher. So,
well, there's a couple things that again, full disclaimer, I'm an international man, so I enjoy international beer. So I can tell you about the German beer, the Dominican beer, and the Mexican beer. But I'm definitely getting more interested in wines and stuff like that. It's something that doesn't necessarily have to be on the high-end experience. Everyone can appreciate a great wine. So I had, just a little bit earlier, I had an opportunity to taste the red that we're featuring tonight, the Sienna. And I was asking some people around the room, give me some of the fancy words that I have to use. So they said, there's 3 things that you have to do. You have to remember to pour, the smell, and then the taste. And you let it linger in your mouth a little bit. So I tried to do that, Chef Ricky, and this is what I've gathered, okay? When I did that, I noticed that it had a kind of a oak barrel type of taste, because I found out that that's where this particular wine came from. And then also, I noticed that it had particular, you ready for this? Yes. Legs on this wine.
hang time, as we call it.
Hang time, yes. Some hang time, and it had a hint of butterscotch, I noticed, in this one. And so this wine, I may not know all the different types of red, but definitely this one tastes very well. And I had a sample of some of the food that we had earlier, and I think this would go great with it. So I'm learning slowly but surely. And did I do okay with the
You did very good. Okay. The only other thing I would add to that, so you can go to dinner and you become a wine connoisseur now.
Okay.
If you're asked to sample the bottle of wine, that's something that's taking some important tasks to do. Because you can't get a bad bottle of wine. I've never had a bad bottle, but when you taste with a group, you're basically saying the wine is good, enjoy. So you get it, like you said, you do the swirl, you do the taste, and you go from there. So wrapping it up, if you go ahead and, when you're looking at the wine and you say, what are we having for dinner tonight? And the majority of the people are having a white, then you may go with a bottle of, white wine to go with the meal. And then if you wanted red on your own, then you would get a glass.
Well, what I want to do is, we've been having such a great time with the audience. They've tasted the food, they've tasted some of the wine, some of the drinks. I want to invite someone from the audience to come up and to taste a little bit, and I'll pour a glass for them, and let's get some feedback from some of the people here. Sure. All right. Let's see who we're going to
We're going to volunteer out of the office, out of the audience to come up. Way in the back.
I'm going to pick this young lady.
Okay.
Right here in the front.
Let's get this one here. Come on.
Let's welcome her.
So, go ahead and tell us your name.
My name is Sana.
And Sana, do you like wine, red or white?
I love both. I love both.
Woman after my heart. So which one do you like to sample tonight? Which one do you, sometimes when we drink wine, we start with a white, we tend to stay with a white, we don't really blend and mix. So which one do you like to taste tonight?
I've been drinking the red all night, so let me try the white.
Okay.
So, Chef Ricky Dean, you're going to tell me exactly what I need to do to pour it properly?
So the first pour you would do is you put a little bit in the glass and you let the lovely lady taste it. So it's a little swirl, okay? She's basically going to be sampling for the bottle on behalf of the table. So she would take a look at it. She'd go ahead, she'd smell it, it smells good. It doesn't have an odor, so it's good. She would taste it. The look on her face is like, yeah, that's the one, that's the one. I need some more, I need some more. So we'll go ahead and we'll give her a nice pour. I usually pour about 3 seconds and you'll get a good pour. So go ahead and pour, lovely. 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi. Oh, you're a little slow on the Mississippi's there. But for the sake of the conversation tonight, let's go ahead and let her taste some more and see how you like that.
Chef Ricky, I want to invite someone else that's in the audience that I believe have a little bit experience as well. We have a young lady that's in the audience tonight, and she has been several different places. She's had the food experience with a lot of chefs, and I think you know her as well. We want to invite her up to the front as well and share her thoughts on the wine we have tonight, and also some of her experiences here as well.
So tell us your final impression of that wonderful white wine you have there.
I enjoy it. I am not a big fan of really oaky wines. I like my white wine steel barrel, but this is, despite it being oaky, it's still very good. It's refreshing, it's crisp, and almost has a citrus taste to it, so it's very tasty.
That's very good. Thanks for that input.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. So our next person that's gonna come on up. Come around the table. Come on this way. Come on around this way. It's such a great honor to meet you. Sometimes your history kind of catches up with yourself. So tell us something about yourself. Good night.
Hi guys, how are you? My name is Anquinette Gaspard, or also known as Persian Foodie. I'm a freelance writer, blogger. I talk about food, travel, craft beer, and clearly I am here to talk some more about the wine. So I'm going to be giving you guys some input.
Okay, so which one would you like to go with? As soon as we start picking that out, I'll say a little bit about you, from my experience with you. One of our wonderful things we do in the Virgin Islands, is we have a lot of great events, and the Caribbean Food Network is one of those new platforms that will allow us to bring our food to different levels and incorporate, great things like you do as a food blogger. So I had a great experience with you, 2 years ago, while Brad pours you which wine. Which one do you like?
I'm going to do the red.
Okay, so she's going to do the red. So the great experience I was as a food blogger, when I competed in, Taste of St. Croix. A couple of days after they started posting the pictures, I came into work, and one of my employees was like, I saw your picture on the food blogger from New York. I saw it everywhere. And I was like, okay. So you actually, had taken one of my soups and tasted one of my soups, Taste of St. Croix, and it was actually featured, on your blog. So I felt that was the first time I was blogged, I was like, oh my, it was such an honor, So take some of that expertise, because I know you got good taste, because you picked my soup, so tell us what's good about the wine.
So you want to talk about the wine or?
Well, tell us about your blog, and then we'll finish up with the wine.
Okay, so my blog, sorry. So, I talk more about just being born and raised in St. Croix. I feel like our food has always been an integral part of who we are, and me traveling and going to all these different places, I always see a piece of St. Croix wherever I go. So whether it was Spain, whether it was Amsterdam or France or wherever, there was always a piece of St. Croix. And so that's where that kind of all came together with Persian Foodie. So going to Taste of St. Croix and St. Croix Food and Wine Experience, it just kind of elevates what we do with food here with regards to our sustainability and agriculture, because farm to table is what we did, it's who we are, it's what we were doing that before it became a thing. And so that's what makes St. Croix so unique and makes us very different from most of the different places that you will travel to with regards to the Caribbean. So people say they come here, and the thing that they like about St. Croix is that they don't feel like a tourist. They don't feel like, a visitor. They feel like they belong, that they're part of who we are as a people, and I think our food has a lot to do with that. Yeah.
That's one thing we always say, we know good food. So when we don't see good food, we know what's bad food. So go ahead and tell us how you think that wine tastes.
Okay, so the thing with wine, right? So I'm also a big beer fan, Brad. So I'm all about the beer as well. But I can appreciate a good wine from time to time because it can get you a little tipsy a lot faster than beer works. It just depends on what your goal is for the evening. But it's always about the smell, much like beer. So it's just smelling it to get the aroma, because your nose tells you a lot about what you're going to be tasting, because your nose deals a lot with your tongue as well. So you smell it first, as we talked about the legs, so you look at it, if it has remnants around the glass.
Fancy words.
The legs,
Uh-huh.
the legs, if you have a leg. So as you can
Means now it hangs on the glass, and it runs up the side, and it hangs coming back down, so we call it legs.
We'll do that a little bit so we can see what that looks like.
See the legs?
Here. If you guys can see the legs, if you look at all my fingerprints are on it, I apologize. And then your mouth does the work. I know that sounds a little weird, but it does. 2013, right? This is a 2013.
Yes, it is.
If I'm not mistaken. So 2013 was a great year for grapes. And so anything that you're gonna get in that year, if you go to the supermarket or a wine store, it's always going to be a little bit more pricey with the 2013s. And you would think, well, 2013 was not that long ago, it shouldn't be that pricey, but that's because of the quality of the grapes during that year. So because of that, you're going to be a little bit more pricier, but you're going to have a much better flavor. And that's what you're getting with this particular wine. So 2013s, they're always a good bet. And any Malbecs from Argentina, that's a plus for you as well.
So what's your favorite wine?
I don't know.
I'd just.
What's your favorite, Brad? You got one?
Heineken.
That don't count.
My favorite, everyone who knows me, is 19 Crimes. I mean, 19 Crimes, I think it's, I like it,
So maybe that's horrible to say. But so a lot of people talk about like the price of wine, like
yes.
how cheap it is, how expensive it is. But Barefoot, in all honesty, has a very good line of wines, and they're well priced. In terms of if you're not a wine drinker and you're not a big person to be into wine, it's a nice middle of the road type of wine that anybody can enjoy, and you don't have to be a wine enthusiast to appreciate it. So I think Barefoot is a very safe brand.
So, as I encourage you, those of you out there that are going to Taste of St. Croix, one of the great things at Taste of St. Croix that a lot of people overlook is the wine. They have a great wine selection. So if the line's along with the food, kind of might go get a glass of wine and come back. You will enjoy your experience a lot better.
Okay, so you guys know I'm a blogger, right? I write about food and travel. So I plan on doing a whole how to maximize your time at a food and wine event, because you have only so much time and only so much room in your stomach, right? And only so much food and drink to enjoy. So it's all about a plan. So the good thing about Tastes of Croix is that they put on their website the map, right? So you know where everything is, every booth. So I highly recommend that you look at that map and decide before you get there what it is you want to go to first.
So you're saying go there
With a plan.
With a plan.
Oh, absolutely. I have no intention of having conversation within the first 90 minutes of my time there. So if you see me, say hello. But I'm gonna be moving. I have to go. There's food to be had, there's wine to be drank, and cocktails to be devoured. So it's all about a plan.
So folks, take it from the words and words of an experienced blogger. Come to Taste of St. Croix with a plan, but also go to the food and wine experience to ensure that you have an opportunity to taste and experience the entire endeavor. So what I would like to do right now is to thank you for coming up. Do you have one more thing you want to share with us? Sure.
So we're talking a lot about Taste of St. Croix and St. Croix food and wine and all the food and the wine you're experiencing, but don't forget that you're giving back to the community. At the end of the day, this all goes back to the St. Croix Foundation and the Taste of St. Croix Foundation. So you're helping to develop and strengthen our community here in the USVI in a number of ways with regards to education and community development. So don't look at the ticket price, because oftentimes people say like, wow, you're going to Taste of St. Croix, that's so much money. But at the end of the day, you're truly giving back to the community, and that nothing gives me greater joy to do that. And then if I can get to eat and drink while I do it too, hey, tell me, it's a win-win. So don't think about a ticket price. Trust and believe that you're giving back to the community, and that money certainly helps in a number of ways. So head out.
No, you're absolutely right. It's definitely a return on investment. And the other thing that you get from that is what you're paying for the ticket, you can never experience a sample of everything from all these great restaurants. And not only that, you're coming out and you're supporting a lot of small businesses that are participating as well. You're promoting the great things that they're doing. And again, the ticket price is a return on investment in our community. It's an opportunity for you to sample the great things that we're having here on St. Croix. So I want to thank both of you for coming in. I appreciate your expertise, our famous blogger and our famous chef. Thank you so for helping me with this wine segment. And let's give them a round of applause for that. And so now I'm reaching to the end. Thank you guys so much. So now I'm reaching to the end of this segment, and I want to thank all the people that made tonight happen, to make the Caribbean Food Network a real thing. We want to thank all our chefs that we had in our previous segments. I want to thank all the people that participated. I want to call some of the team back up. I want to call back Island Gyal to help me close out this segment. I want to give a shout out to our producer, Mr. Anthony Weeks. I want to give a shout out as well to our other host on our other show, Miss Nellie Brady. Give a shout out to her as well. Ask her to come up. And more importantly, I want to thank you, the audience, for giving us an opportunity to share with you some of the great things the great chefs are doing here on the island. So I'm going to ask the chef Ricky Dean to pour a glass for all of us, and we want to give one final toast. But what I would like to do as well is to invite some people in the audience who was here and tasted the food and hung out and clapped and give a shout out. We're going to ask you guys to come around as well. And let's give a toast for the launch.
One second.
Oh.
Did we announce the shows?
Oh, yeah.
Now we, okay.
No, not now we are going to do it. Now you're going to do it. So let's welcome our producer extraordinaire, Anthony Weeks, to the show. I want to congratulate him for bringing all of us together and reaching out to the different people here in the community to make this happen. Carambola, of course, one of our partners here. And I want you to talk a little bit about the other things that we have going on with Culinary Network. Sure.
All right, folks, thank you so much for taking the time to come out. The concept of the Caribbean Food Network basically is quite simple. All of us have television, cable, satellite, and we tune in and we go to the Food Network, we go to the cooking channel, we go to all the different food channels. And so I was doing some research recently because I know that we are famous, we love food, we romanticize about how we can be an agricultural farming community, and it's something that we aspire to be. But because of the logistics in terms of where we are and the size of our land mass and our ability to export, there's some challenges there. So I said, what is the next best thing? What is the next best thing? So if we don't have the capacity to export, right, on a large scale, we cook good, we know food, so why not just simply become the culinary destination of the Caribbean, where instead of exporting what we do, bring people in because they're going to come here because what we have to offer is just delightful, delicious type foods. And so the launching of the Caribbean Food Network is a culmination of the, 16 years that the Taste of St. Croix Foundation Food and Wine Experience, where it's wonderful that we do this thing once a year, but the problem is, if you want something to stick, you got to tell that story constantly. You know, this once a year thing that just doesn't stick. So the objective here in creating the Caribbean Food Network is to create a rival product that really features and showcase we, the people, in terms of the rich history, culture, ethnicity, all the good stuff that we stand for. And so every Saturday, our partnership with Carambola, we're telling that story every week. And we're showcasing the best talent that we have to offer. And so what will happen is when anyone goes online and they're a foodie and they're trying to figure out where do I go on vacation, okay, what's the best culinary vacation destination? Guess what? St. Croix will be top of mind when it comes to choosing where they're going to go for vacation. And that being said, I want to thank you for coming out because it says a lot to me that you see the vision, you see the dream, and you love food, and that's what we have in common. And so the people that you see here are a team of people that are committed, dedicated, passionate about just the whole idea of showcasing the talent that we have. And so by creating the Caribbean Food Network, what we branched off, we have celebrity chef Ron Duprat. You've seen him on Top Chef and Spike TV and The View and whatnot, and he's the executive chef here. A Taste of the Caribbean is built around him with our partnership with Carambola. Then, of course, we have behind the camera another extraordinary culinary expert and chef is Cece Reyes. And Cece loves food. She lives for food. You know, she talks about it, she makes it, and it's her passion. And so the idea is to engage the people that are passionate about that business. And so I met Ricky, Dean, and Andrew. We knew each other before, but we met at the Bush Cook competition, and I knew he had it. When I interviewed him, I knew he was going to win because he exhibited a lot of passion. And so I want to thank you for joining the team, my friend. Thank you. And that being said, we're going to launch his show called The Private Chef. The Private Chef is going to be a new show where literally what we're going to do, we're going to merge real estate and food together. You turn on your TV and you see the real estate show, the home show, and then you turn on TV and you see the food show. The concept is we're going to merge the two, and we're going to create the private chef, and he's going to go around on all these different properties and cook in their kitchen and showcase these homes. And then of course to my left, I love this lady. She has, her personality is magnetic. She's, when you can't help but smile when you're around her. And tomorrow she's going to debut her show, Danelle Almor. Danelle Almor, it's me. And she is going to be the next, what's her name again? Delilah, okay? And Delilah, I love Delilah, so she's going to be the next Delilah. And am I missing? Brad, of course, Brad and Dex, the master Dex. Thank you so much for doing your thing. This guy got some talent, he got some bad talent there. But I want to get back to Brad for a second. Brad is a production guy. He's into the graphics. He said, Anthony, we need to do some stuff with this. I said, come on, let's do this, Brad. I want to thank you for coming aboard, man. Appreciate it. Of course, Nellie. Thank you, Nellie. Nellie's doing her thing. Nellie is part of the show. On Wednesday, 6 Degrees, we talk about relationships. We have fun. We have a lot of fun, okay? Sana, what's going on?
I'm just here to have fun.
Exactly. When I met Sana was a financial person. And she was, dynamic. She was, a very, very progressive person. And when she told me she was going to the restaurant business, I said, sure, you want to do that? She said, oh yeah, I want to do that. I can do this. And so it takes a lot of courage to do what you did. I had a restaurant, as you know, in New York, and it's not easy. So kudos to you, and continue much success. And you were the blogger. Blogger extraordinaire.
Never even met.
I know. Thank you for coming by.
Absolutely.
Appreciate it. This is a very important week coming up. It's the Food and Wine Week here in St. Croix. And we're going to do our part in helping to take this to the next level. That's what this is. The Caribbean Food Network, I just launched my new television show called The Marketplace. It launched yesterday, and you can be able to watch it every Friday at 9:30 on Tempo. Tempo is a partner with Culinary Network. And again, we're going to, in all the major markets, Boston, New York, New Jersey, Connecticut, Philadelphia, Washington, D.C., and throughout the Caribbean, we are literally developing. Oh, we got a toast? Is this a toast? Oh, I'm sorry. I'm hogging the moment here. All right, where's my wine? Where's my glass? Oh, this me? So this was supposed to be a toast, right? Okay.
What?
Anthony.
Okay. Keep talking. Keep talking. All right, okay. All right, so this is the toast, guys. This is the toast. And here's to what the future holds. We're not going to rely on the government. We're not going to rely on the government to fix this problem. We have the ability and the capacity to fix this island and take this island to where it can go. And here's to the future and the success of St. Croix as a culinary vacation destination, a foodcation. All right, thank you. Here we go. All right. So tomorrow, don't forget, Island Gal, Danelle is going to debut her show tomorrow from 8 to 10 on WSDX and on K Radio, and of course live on Facebook and what else?
Wednesday.
Oh yes, of course. I don't forget Wednesday, 6 degrees, every Wednesday, 8 to 10 on WSDX, on Color Network, K Radio, and on Facebook as well. And just so you know, what we're going to do is every show is going to be featured on the Marketplace on Tempo TV. And so we'll have various segments, and we're going to feature the shows as well on television as well. So thank you so much, guys, for a successful evening, and thank you for coming out. Folks on Facebook Live, I want to say good night, and thank you so much for tuning in. Appreciate it.